Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Debra Ann Matthews. Y'all know my weight loss channel is all about knee pain, back pain, chronic pain. If you're obese or overweight, remember there are 100 million people in the United States who are obese and overweight. So we are not alone. And I ask you to lose weight with me. If you don't have a weight problem, but you have the weight lying on your shoulders, we want you to lose that as well. Thank you so much for being with us this Black Friday while y'all are shopping. Buy me something for Christmas. I wanted to come on to remind you with some special guests that we do not have to eat our way through this holiday season. Is that okay? So today we're going to welcome Angel Perez. She's our new best friend. And everybody's best friends on Facebook and YouTube and social media. Okay, BFFs
Exactly.
in the struggle for weight loss. Okay, Angel is a success story, y'all. She has lost 150 pounds in the last year from following a calorie deficit diet and staying consistent in the gym. Her starting weight was 370 and her current weight is 220. Angel, you are a rock star. Thank you so much for being with us. Please share your story in your own way.
Well, thank you, Miss Deborah. So I'm here at the gym right now. We just pulled up, so I'm ready to go already today. But I was working a 9 to 5 corporate job last year, and I was really unhappy, and I was the heaviest I've ever been. I say 370, but it was definitely that's just when I started looking at the scale. It was probably more than that when I first started. And I knew I needed to do something, so I started going to the gym. I started going to the gym before that, and what started it all was actually this at work at the bank that I worked at. We started this weight loss challenge to see who could lose the most weight before Christmas. And I we all put money in, and whoever lost the most weight was going to win the money. I left before I would have won, but I left before I even tried because I realized that my happiness was a little bit more important than the money I was making there. And I became more consistent in the gym, and I ate more mindfully last year. And then I decided, the beginning of this year, I really wanted to lock in and uh make goals for myself, make goals and actually complete goals for myself, because a lot of times I would say stuff, I wouldn't do it, and I would just continue the bad habits I had. I didn't have the discipline that I needed to complete it. And I felt like I don't know what changed in my brain, but it did, and that's the great part about it is, sometimes not everybody's ready for it. You just have to stay consistent, and if you fail, that's okay, because as long as you're consistent and you go right back to it, that's all that matters. I have bad days. I definitely was a binge eater. Binge eating was one of my biggest things, with it contributing to my weight, how big I was. And and the stuff I was eating, I never was taught how to eat right or what to eat that was right or portion size. I was never taught those things in school or in my family, because most of my family's a lot bigger too. And so I kind of had to just retrain my brain to think that way and learn that way. And then, so starting the beginning of this year, I decided, like, January 1st, I wanted to follow a calorie deficit diet, which just I made it to where I could eat up to 2,000 calories a day, and I have to eat at least 150 grams of protein within those 2,000 calories, which I really like that setup of a diet, just because it's not as restricting. I can tell myself, yeah, I can have a piece of, cake at the end of the night, as long as I have those calories left over and I've met my protein goal. And so it's a lot nicer. I feel like that's what's helped me stick with this, diet so long. And it's more of like a lifestyle now. I don't even call it a diet. It's just the way I like to eat now. Yesterday for Thanksgiving, I definitely used that as my cheat day. I give myself one cheat day a week, and I usually have it on the weekends, but yesterday was my cheat day, so I'm going back to my counting calories diet today. um,
Awesome.
yeah. And then I created my own gym routine. So I have a Monday through Friday plan. Sometimes I add in an extra day, and then I add in yoga to my routine every so often. I usually do that on Tuesdays every week. Um, I started doing cardio on the stairmasters at the end of all my workouts, so I'll do about 30 minutes of stairs. I started doing that actually because me and my boyfriend, we were going to Michigan for his birthday. And I don't know if you've
Mhm.
ever heard of Sleepy Bear Dunes, but it's this really steep, like, slope that if you get stuck at the bottom, you have to pay like a $3,000 fine. And I was like, I'm not paying that fine, but I want to see the water. So I was training for that. And so I started doing the stairs. And now that's my favorite form of cardio, which is crazy because it was my least favorite form of cardio when I started.
Okay, what's the name of that? I'm write that down. That sounds some crazy, girl.
Yeah, oh, it's beautiful. I mean, it's like almost like you're at the ocean. It's called Sleepy Bear Dunes.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna share that with my. I work out with poor car and obstacle course people. They crazy and
Oh,
they
yeah.
like to do crazy stuff. So
See,
yes, I'm gonna write
Michigan,
that
the Upper
down.
Peninsula of Michigan is definitely the place to go. That's like one of my favorite places that we visited ever. Um, yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite
That's
places to be.
awesome. That is awesome. So what do you do for a living now? Do you do something health related?
So I don't do anything health related. I'm kind of just I serve at Applebee's. I find I like it, and I make almost the amount of money that I made at the bank. And like for me, like I switched over and I decided to do serving because it was very flexible, and that's what I wanted with my schedule was something that I could be flexible with. Because when I worked at the bank, I had to schedule time off a year in advance, and I don't even know what I'm doing next week. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
so it's nice to be able to say if I didn't want to work a day and I needed somebody to take it, 90% of the time somebody will pick up my shift, or if I know that I don't want to work in 2 weeks, I can request that day off or that week off. And
Yeah.
so it's really nice with the flexibility for sure. And the money ain't bad either.
And what you said, Angel, was that you decided for you that
Mhm.
having a focus on your weight and wellness was important. I love that. I
Yeah,
love that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. One of the things I encourage people who are on my channel to do, as women especially, there's some men on our group too, to trust your own instinct.
exactly.
If you want to know what to do, ask yourself. So you have to, Michelle Pettis does this thing. She tells us you have to sit in it. You have to
Yeah,
just sit in it until you figure it out. And you're exactly right about if you make a mishap, baby. I've been in this jank. I've been consistent for 27 months. It'll be 28 months next week. For half of that time, I was struggling with my eating, but I still
yeah,
kept moving because at the point where I'm having mobility issues. And now the weight is going. I don't eat any sugar. Someone brought me, we had some Thanksgiving yesterday. The cake is still on the sofa. I'm going to give it away. I could eat it, yes, but I chose not to. And I
period.
mean, I don't even know who that girl is. But at the
Right.
same time, you're exactly right. I ate the other food. It's not about what we're eating, it's what's eating us that
Mhm.
causes us to eat. And
Exactly.
one of the things Michelle says is the only thing that food is good for is nutrition and minerals and wellness,
Mhm.
nothing else.
Yeah.
And I am so proud of you. I
Thank
am
you.
so proud of you. Bridget
Yeah.
says, I wish I could lose weight for my height. What would you say to Bridget? She just posted that message, Angel.
Mhm. I feel like for your height, I don't think that that would basically make like, your height shouldn't deter you from working out and being able to eat healthy and all that stuff. It doesn't matter if you're 4'2" or if you're 6'11", no matter what height you are, I feel like you can definitely, I see people that are definitely within what the height range I just said that go to the Planet Fitness all the time. So just stepping foot in there, especially like a Planet Fitness, one of those places, it's very positive. I have membership at both, like, two different gyms, and I definitely prefer to work out at Planet Fitness because I don't feel like people have their eyes on me. They're very respectful. Like there's a lot more respect. I feel like at a Planet Fitness or like a more neutral gym, opposed to like I go to a Total Fitness, and that's more of like an official gym, which they're both official gyms. They both have the same, ability to work out in them and all that stuff. It's just
Hmm.
the people that go in there and the eyes that are looking, and little less anxiety for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And how did you learn how to figure out what you should do? Did you take a class? Did you look online? You just You just kind of knew.
I will honestly say my personal trainers were TikTok. I
Yeah.
learned everything from TikTok. If there was a certain muscle that I wanted to target or a certain part of my body that I wanted to hit at the gym, I just looked up TikToks and I just composed my. I mean, it was almost like I was studying TikTok for my. You know, I always tell people when they come to the gym with me and they're like, "Well, how do you know how to do this?" And I was like, "Well, my personal trainer TikTok told me." You know what I mean?
Okay, I love it. I love it. I do the opposite. I go find something, go buy something, go and I
Yeah,
take it to my coach. He's a special forces military person. So I say, Coach, social media says this. He's like, Deborah, that's an advertisement. Turn over on the back and read the ingredients. I'm like, oh. So I'm
yeah,
like, Coach, social media says this. He's like, you're just into that. Like I learned about fasting 36, 12, 24 for obese persons. I'm like,
yeah,
Coach, I want to do 36 hours of fasting. And he told me, he drew a description on everything. So 2 weeks later, after I'm doing it, because I told him, I don't care what you're saying. I'm doing 36, 12, 24. So 2 weeks
mhm,
later, when my head is hurting, I can't sit still. The physical therapist said you can't exercise because you're hungry.
yeah,
He says, you got to ease into it. I'm like, okay, so we're going to do 14-10. I'm like, okay. So
yeah.
my head is hard, but I love the fact that you kept on trying
Oh
and you
yeah,
did not give up and you did not beat yourself up. I love that. I love that balance.
oh
And
yeah.
you said, this is something you said. Oh, I did a session on binge eating last week. I want to redo that. Um, you retrained your brain. And that's one thing I would say to Bridget, tell your brain what you want to do because we don't realize that your brain, your skin, they're living organs and they're listening to you. And so I love that for you. I love that for you. We are indeed encouraged. So I want you to enjoy your gym time. Thank you for being with us this morning. And we're
Thank you,
just
Miss
going to keep
Deborah.
watching your journey and cheering you on. Thank you, Angel.
Bye, guys. Thank you
Okay.
for having me.
Okay. Thank you, darling.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye. And she went from 370 to 220, and so that's amazing, able to continue to walk. So we're going to look at bringing on our other guest, who is Michelle Pettis. So hold on, let me see. I'm trying this out new because I'm trying to bring in several guests at a time. So hold that thought. Okay. So let's thank. Good morning, Rossi. Good morning, Rico. Happy holidays. Remember that moderation is key. Then okay, there you go. Then keep moving and try not to become immobile. Okay. Oh, girl, I need to go in the garage right now, but it's cold out there. But I'm gonna make myself go when we get off the line. So let's see if we're gonna wait for Michelle Pettis to jump on because we have another special guest that we want her to share her journey and then share some support for everybody. Oh, okay, there we go. Hold on. Oh, good morning. Good
Hey,
morning. Hi, we are live and we were able to do that. That was cool. We brought two in, but at different times.
hey,
So thank
yay.
you, Michelle. Let me give a quick introduction. Y'all, this is our weekly guest, Michelle Pettis. She wrote this book called Leaving Large. She has a TED Talk, and her testimony is that she has gained and lost over 700 pounds in her lifetime. And she has a supportive formula that absolutely works. We want her to tell her journey about her weight loss, and then we want to give her some time to talk about support. We have what's called Mind Over Meals coming, where she does some beautiful support, getting our mind right. Michelle, our last guest, her name was Angel. She did exactly what you said. She retrained her brain to go from 370 to 220. And so take it away in your own way, young lady, in your own way.
Hey, yay. So I gotta tell you something. I am here. I'm in Texas. I live in Maryland, but
Uh-huh.
I'm here visiting my sister.
Okay.
And, Debra Ann, you read the book. You read the book,
Yes.
so that it's the same sister where, quite a few years ago, we baked fruitcake cookies, and I ate
Yes.
all 5 dozen of them, right?
Oh wow. Yes, I heard it. I heard it. I read it too. I read
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and lied to her, and told her that my roommate ate them.
Hmm.
So, addiction will have you doing some stuff, right?
Don't you
Addic-
know it? Yes,
ad-
ma'am.
yeah, addiction will lie to you and have you lying to other people,
That's it.
right? But we're on the other side of that,
Yes, we
and
are.
so I spent some time with my sister and her beautiful family, and here's what I had for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I had I had some greens,
Okay.
I had some quinoa,
Okay.
and I had a green salad. That's what
Okay.
that's what I ate. That's what I
Okay.
ate happily. And let me tell you
Yes.
what they served. They had bread pudding, and
Okay.
in my TED Talk, I talk about never eating it again and being happy about never eating it again. They had
Mhm.
sweet potato pie, not my Aunt Dorothy's sweet potato pie, but some other sweet potato pie, which
Mhm.
I didn't miss one bit. They had pecan pie, didn't eat that. And someone said to me, you don't eat that, do you? And I said, no, I don't. They had sweet potatoes, didn't eat them. They had gumbo and white rice,
Mhm.
right? I had a little bit of the juice from the gumbo
Mhm.
on my quinoa.
Okay.
I was looking for some seafood moving around in there, but I couldn't find any. There was some down at the bottom, but I didn't wait that long. Um,
Uh-huh.
and so yeah, I want to share that it was a beautiful, beautiful. And guess what? This crowd, we played games. We played Uno after we
Yes.
ate. Nobody was on the sofa sleeping. No, I mean nobody. Nobody was complaining, even though they had a bunch of stuff that I didn't actually eat myself. Nobody was complaining about how they ate too much, right?
Yes.
Um, and I just want people to know that it's possible. We had a lovely, beautiful time, and it was about each other. It was
Yes.
not about the food. Um, and so my journey started when I realized that. My journey started when I realized that my issues with food addiction and overeating and yo-yo dieting and stress eating, and I didn't even know I was stress eating. I didn't even know I was stressed. Um, had nothing to do with the food. It had everything to do with what I thought about the food, what I believed about the food.
Mm.
And my journey continued, and it still continues as I learn how what I struggled with was not my fault. And it's not anybody that's watching, it's not your fault either. Because we live in a toxic food environment that is manipulated and managed by the fast food companies, the snack food companies, and the junk food companies that call the stuff that they sell us food, and it's not. Our
Mhm.
brains don't see it as food. Our brains don't see it as food. Our brains see it as toxins. Our brains can't even process it, and it shows up in our bodies, and it is addictive, and because it's addictive, it changes our brains. And there's a difference between what happens in your brain when you're an addict, when you're addicted to the sugar, when you're addicted to the salt, the fat, the flour. Yeah, the flour, the stuff that's in flour, the stuff the stuff that's in dairy, also addictive, right? It
Mhm.
changes the brain so that we can't process information the same way, which leaves
Mm.
us vulnerable. It's not just like, oh, have more willpower, self-control, self-discipline. Your brain is addicted. It is out of balance. Just like a drug addict, someone's addicted to alcohol. The
Mhm.
same thing happens with the processed foods, with the
Yes.
processed stuff. Let me call it that. With the processed stuff, our 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 bodies our bodies don't know what to do with it. Our bodies
Yes.
don't know what to do with it. Our bodies are saying, "I'm hungry, feed me," and we keep giving it chips and a soda, but our bodies are saying, "Give me some broccoli, girl. Give me some broccoli. Give me a piece of fish. Yeah, and give me a sweet potato. You don't put all that extra stuff on it.
Yes.
Give me that. I want whole food. I want real food." That's what
Yes.
our bodies are saying, but this food culture tells us, right, that we need something convenient, that we need something fast, that we need something sugary. And then we get addicted to it, and they keep making the portions sizes higher and higher. They create a larger and larger. They keep making the formulas addictive, the recipe, the formulation, so that you can't stop eating it. So when they say, "I bet you can't eat just one," that's because they have created to be that way. Yes,
Yes.
I used to go to Red Lobster and eat a basket of biscuits. I mean,
Yes.
eat a basket, like, in 5 minutes because the food was
Yes.
so processed, it just slid down your throat,
Mm-hmm.
right? It just
Yes.
so it's something in it that makes it that way. So we have to
Yes.
get a clue that they they start trying to take our minds and keep our minds believing that food can do something that it cannot from an early age. We're trained as kids, we're trained as
Yeah.
babies. Why do you think there's so much sugar in cereal, right?
Yes.
All of that. So it starts at an early age. The advertising does not stop. It is everywhere. So we have to be mindful of it all the time. That's why in my training we work every day, because every day we are bombarded with messages that want us to make decisions that fuel the profit machine of the snack food companies, the junk food companies, and the fast food companies, and not our bodies. So if
Yes.
they're doubling down on their messaging to get us to eat that stuff, then we need to double down on our protection that prevents us and teaches
Yeah.
us to do that which is going to save our
Yeah.
lives.
Do you know what I did yesterday? I had my lunch, which was
Mhm.
my dinner, my Thanksgiving lunch, and then for dinner I ate half of it, and then I made myself a big container of green beans just to make sure that I got a real natural, and I didn't put anything in, just a little seasoning, and I made it real hot. I said I got to make sure I give myself real, because I didn't cook the other food, real, a real vegetable. Because I
Yes,
had green bean casserole, but I said, let me eat a big thing of green beans. And
yes,
let me remember, I'll
yes.
have the other half today, because I'm learning every single day. And guess where the desserts are and the Coca
Mm,
Cola is? It's on the couch, ready to go out so I can give it to somebody else who might want it. But I didn't put it where I could eat it.
yeah.
I made a decision. I said, I am going to get through this holiday loving on my sister, loving on my friends, checking on people who are sick. Um, I actually didn't even, after I did all of that, I didn't even want to go out like I had planned, because I said, you know what, you fellowshipped enough. You
Mhm.
fellowshipped enough, because sometimes you have to take time to take each day. Every day I have an event. You have to take time each day to be your new self. And
Yes.
sometimes that means you can't do everything and be with everybody, because everybody don't necessarily understand where you're going. So you have to
Mm.
save your peace of mind. The last guest that we had on, she actually left her job at the bank and went to serve tables because she wanted flexibility to focus on her weight loss. And she
Wow.
wanted to be able to go places when she wanted to. In her corporate job, she could only have time off if she made time off a year in advance. So I
Wow.
love that people are taking time to put their health and wellness first.
Yes.
And it's perfectly okay. And a lot of people will understand, but until we get to that point where it's natural for people to see us having boundaries with our eating, then we have to take that extra time off,
Mhm.
away, and
Mhm.
be and still fellowship.
Yes.
We still
Yes.
fellowship. I just
Yes.
didn't fellowship all day long.
Yes, yes, yeah. I love that the story that you told about the previous guest. making the decision that her life was more important than the job, right?
Yes.
And what this really speaks to is that once you develop this muscle of setting boundaries around your eating, and really stepping into that, it's a muscle that strengthens every other area of your life. That's the thing. It carries over into every area of your life. That's why my transformation program is called Mind, Body, and Life, because this isn't just about losing weight, right? This isn't just
Yes.
about that. This is just about the total transformation that comes when you have a real clear understanding of how to honor your body and honor yourself and honor your purpose and eat in a way that supports that gives you life rather than takes life away from you. That's
Yes.
I mean just it, that my journey, Debra Ann, was really about this fundamental understanding of what the purpose of food and eating is for. That it's not for entertainment, that it's not for pleasure, that it's just for nutrition and nourishment, that it is just fuel. That food, when
Yes.
I got to the fact that I realized that food is just a tool, it is a tool, but to help me get what I want is to help all of us get what we want. But we have to decide what we want in life, how we want to live, how we want to feel, how we want to look, how we want to show up. How do we want to
Mhm.
move through, how do we want to move through this world? And then
Yes.
eat to give us that life. I met a woman a couple of months back, like during COVID. It was a nurse, and I was going to get my shot, and she was out in the parking lot, and she was on roller skates, doing the shots in the
Yes.
parking lot on the skates. And we started having a conversation, and she told me that she had lost about 100 pounds. And I said, "Oh wow, what happened?" She said, "I was with my little boy. I was with my little boy, and we went to the amusement park, and he wanted to get on the roller coaster, and I couldn't get in the roller coaster.
Mhm.
How do you wanna look? How do you wanna feel? She decided that showing up for her child was more important than the food. Changed. I decided I wanted I wanted to live a better life for my baby. I just saw a post earlier today, and it said something like, many parents, and what I'm saying as a childless person. But it says something like, many parents say that they would die for their children. They would die for their children, but yet they won't figure out or can't figure out how to live a healthier lifestyle. And they guess what? They are dying for their children. They're actually dying in front of their children slowly because they haven't figured out how to make the change, and the fact that they haven't figured it out isn't their fault. It is the fault of this toxic food environment that continually pushes messaging at us, telling us that we just need to work out and we just need to eat right,
Mhm.
not focusing on the fact that we need to change our minds first.
Yes.
That
And
that
I shared with you earlier today, I was on Facebook in one of my weight loss groups, and this young lady, her doctor wants her to have bariatric surgery, but she can't afford it. So this
mhm,
doctor has her thinking that the only way is for her to have surgery when she can't afford it. And she's like, do I take out a loan so I can afford
oh
it?
my God. Wow.
And my heart went out to her, and I started talking to her, and I said, "Look, join our weight loss group, our support group." I said, "Ask your doctor to send you to a nutritionist. Ask your doctor to send you to physical therapy. Do not get a loan." And
Mhm.
for you to think when you're confused about this overweight and you don't know where to go, but you go to a doctor who is right along with the food industry, they're giving you the answer as the solution things that cost money,
Yep.
not
Yep.
the formula for weight loss, not the formula for anything. That was all her doctor said
Yes.
was
And
you need the surgery. He didn't
yep.
say anything else.
Oh, oh, that breaks my heart. And so here, Deborah, and you brought up a very good point. And I also want to point out this is that in your own journey,
Yes.
a couple of months ago, that surgery was something that was on the table, that there was a
Yes.
consideration that was
Yes.
out there, and you just moved forward, and you have since lost over 100 pounds without the surgery.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's the testimony right there. That's a testament right there. Because the because even with the surgery, in order for it to be successful, in order for you to feel successful with it, not just to cut back on your portion sizes and eat smaller meals, you have to do the mental work along
Yes.
with it.
Yes.
Because if you do not, it'll be hard. It'll
Yes.
always be hard. It will always be a fight. It will always be a battle, and you will gain the weight back.
One of the girls who had her weight loss surgery over last month, she said, I hate that I can't eat Thanksgiving dinner.
Hmm.
And I said to her, count your blessings, write down your blessings. What are you grateful for? And other people were like, well, maybe you can have a, they were giving her solutions that dealt with eating. And it's
Right.
not about eating, it's about what's eating us. It's really about stress and misinformation.
Yes, it is that mental work that
Yes.
when you get to the point, and this is what people don't understand. This is what the diet industry doesn't tell you, that it is not about diet. It is about
Yes.
desire. It is about desire. The fast food company, the snack food companies, the junk food companies are in the business of creating desire in people to make
Yes.
people want to eat that which is not good for them. So let's just say that, to create desire, to make people want to eat that which is not good for them. And they
That's
do
it.
it, and they do it by neuromarketing, right? Hijacking your brain, tying these really pleasurable situations to the taste of the pleasurable fast food that is really destroying your system, right? So you make that connection. So the
Yes.
desire is for it. They use color, right? They use color, they use imagery, they use messaging, and they bombard us with this messaging and imagery day in and day out, all the time, wherever we look.
Yes. Pamela Johnson
Building.
says she loves what she's hearing. She says, loving what I am hearing.
Oh, thank you, Pamela. We're gonna tell you how you can get some more of this in just a second. Let me just do this other half of it. Building desire.
Yes. That's a new,
So,
we're going to start a spelling list. The first word on the spelling list is neuromarketing.
oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I can hear you. We're going to
Okay.
start a new spelling list. Everybody's going to have spelling tests. The first word on the spelling list is neuromarketing. I love
Yes.
that. Yes.
Neuromarketing. It's a
Yes.
thing. It's a real thing, and it is,
Yes, it
and it's
is.
and it's a thing that keeps people trapped. But we can take our brains back from the neuromarketers,
Yes.
and we can take our see here, and we can take our brains back from the neuromarketers, and we can take our brains back from the weight loss industry that tells us that we must just eat right and exercise, and we
Mm-hmm.
can take it back, y'all, for free. We can take it back
Mm-hmm.
for free. Pamela, here's how you do it. The four things that I teach: visualization, affirmation, meditation, and prescriptive writing. It's called VAMP. Get vampy with me. Get VAMP.
Okay.
Those four things you can do on your own by yourself and take your brain, your body, and your life back. They don't cost you anything other than the pen that it takes to write it and the paper. You can do it. You can go on Google. You can research how to do all those things all by yourself. You can come to the free support group that Debra Ann comes to every Monday. Every Monday at 5 p.m. and we talk about taking our brains back. It is a support group for emotional overeaters. And I am brand new now Facebook group. We are there. It is free. It's not, and it's like, there are Facebook groups out there where you're just on there, doing messaging and whatnot. In this group, we talk to one another. We meet regularly on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you come with your challenges, you come with your problems, you come with your victories, you come with your solutions. You come and listen, you come and talk, you come on camera, you come off camera, but you just show up. You just show up for yourself, you show up for other people in the group so that you can start reclaiming your brain, and you start reclaiming your brain in community. You start reclaiming your brain when you connect with other people that are on this same road. You start reclaiming your brain when you get conscious about what's being pushed up on us. You reclaim your brain when you are able to find your own compelling story that is going to be more important to you and create stronger desire in you to be your best self than what the food companies and the snack food companies and the junk food companies want you to do. That is free. If you decide that you want more support, you want a little more support, we do a writing group. We do a writing group on Saturdays where you can come in for $39, spend an hour and a half, and uncover and write about some of the emotions and the situations that are keeping you stuck. One at a time. You get the formula, you figure out how to do it for one, you can do it for another.
When is our next meeting?
Our next meeting is December, the first Saturday in December.
So it's December 6th.
December
No,
the 6th.
December 7th. Okay.
Whatever that first Saturday is the first Saturday in December. You
Okay,
can come,
excellent.
you can do that. You can download a free chapter of my book to get started with Leaving
Yes.
Large, right? Leavinglarge.com.
Okay.
That first
Abraham Haywood says this is good.
All right, Abraham. Yes, yes, right. This is good stuff. This is stuff that is about us saving our lives. This is what this is
Hmm.
about, right? So if you want to download a free chapter of that book, you can download a free chapter of the book, right? If you want to
Hmm.
buy it, you can buy it. You can get it on Amazon. You can get I think the digital copy is 4.99. The hard copy is 19.99. If you want to order it directly from me, I'll sign it and send it to you. It's $25, or yes, it's $25 plus shipping for me to sign it and send it to you. Tho- those are all things to get you started. And if you don't have that, email me at michelle@michellepettis.com. Michelle@michellepettis.com. I will
It's in the
send you
description.
I will send you a link to some of the stories are published online for free. I just read one. I just read one this weekend
Yes.
on Instagram. Right? I can just on it's on social media, on Instagram and on Facebook. I just read, so you can get to some of those stories for free. So if you want even more support than that, we've got a 52-week program, transformation program. And there's no recipes in this program. This is all about going deep into the mental work. About week by week, we uncover the emotions that are keeping you trapped with food so that you can free yourself and find some peace. It's 52 weeks because we're talking about transformation. It's 52 weeks because that's how long it takes. It's 52 weeks because this is not some, you know, fly by night, quick 12-week 12-week program. It's 52 weeks because at the end of the 52 weeks you will be completely different. Your mind will be different. The reason that the here's the deal. The reason is what you want will be different. So
Okay.
when you don't want to eat it, then you don't have to use willpower, self-control, and self-discipline. When you don't want it, then you're not miserable when everybody else is eating it. When you don't want it, you don't feel deprived when everybody else is eating it. When you don't want it, it's not a battle. But
Exactly.
most people don't know how not to want what they have always wanted. And that's what we do in this group. We teach you not to want the stuff that is ultimately destroying your life and your body and your mind, because we don't hear about how this processed food impacts our brain function. It forget.
Yes.
I'm not talking about body shaming. I'm not talking about fitting into the cute clothes, which is all I wanted to do. I'm not talking about any of that, right? I'm not talking. I'm talking about eat because you want to think more clearly.
Yes.
Eat because you don't want brain fog. Eat because you want
Yes.
proficiency, because you want performance, because you want productivity. Eat because you want a
Yes.
promotion. Eat because you want to be the smartest one in the room. This
Yeah.
what we eat fuels our brain. It is our brains, and our brains are the center of our being. Our brains control everything. So when we get the food right and we start eating to support brain function, it helps us with cravings. It helps us with yo-yo dieting. It helps us with impulse control. It helps us with all that stuff that used to send us down the rabbit hole and send us to relapse. When you just get off the processed food and get into the healing food, and being in a group helps you do that. There's some tricks, there's some techniques, because we're trying to overcome years and decades of habits that are embedded in our unconscious and subconscious minds. And that the fast food companies and the snack food companies and the junk food companies keep trying to pile it on. But we have the power to take that control back. But we can
Yes.
do it through visualization, affirmation, meditation, and prescriptive writing, things that we have been told aren't that important. But
Yes.
these things are the most important things. They allow us
Yes.
to do everything else. They
Yes.
when you go to a doctor, you get some sort of plan, those things are right down there at the bottom. They need to be at the very top.
Stop.
You need to do
Exactly.
that stuff first, because that stuff your our mind control this is our mind controls everything. Our mind controls every action, and eating is an action. So isn't it just logical? Just think of the logic.
Yes.
If if overeating is your problem, if emotional overeating is your problem, eating is an action. Our minds, our brains control action. So if we control our minds and our brains, then that means we can control the action.
Michelle, we have two
Mm.
comments I need you to address. Faith M. Wangi says, "This is good. I love it." Michelle, who is a regular member, says, "I feel like I lack the power." What do you say to those two comments, Michelle?
Yes, 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 yes. You you might. You do. You do lack the power right now. And the reason is because you don't have the skill. See, what we do with food and how we manage food is a skill. We're in this place because we need to learn how to manage it. You haven't been taught. We live in a culture that that likes to keep us in a disempowered place when it comes to food. But when you get in a group, right? When you learn how to master it, that's when you get the power. That's when you get the confidence. When you learn what food really is, when you learn what hunger really feels like, when you know how to differentiate between hunger and everything else that shows up in your stomach, that's when you get the power. When you start to know the difference between real food and fake food, that's when you get the power. Yes. I mean, where you're the to be at the place where you say, I feel like I lack the power, that's the first step to understand that you aren't conscious. That's a great place to be, because now that you understand that, you can make the next step so that you can get the power. You can get the power. The power is yours. The power is in your brain. Because here's the thing, they don't tell you this, is that before you ever gained an ounce of anything on your body, an any extra ounce of anything or in the extra weight, any everything, you gained it in your head first. Debra Ann is pointing to her head. You gained it in your head first. You have to lose it the same way. You have to lose it in your mind the same way. You have, and when you lose it in your mind, you get control of your mind, your brain, your body has to follow. Our
Michelle,
bodies follow our brain. Yes.
Michelle, you have
Mhm.
just won a spot with me when I go on the Today Show, Good Morning America, Sherry and Jay Hud. You're coming with me. You've just earned that spot. When I have lost all of my weight, because I just put it in my brain, you're coming with me. You can come. So we can
Thank
talk
you.
about this thing. You can come. You can come. You can
I
come.
love
You've
you for
just
that.
earned your spot.
I
You
love
just
you for
earned
that.
your spot.
I
You got to go
love
out first and sit on the sofa because I got to walk out by myself. But you're coming with me because you've earned the spot. I was that person who didn't have the power. I had lost 33 pounds last year. And for 4 months after that, I ate a bag of popcorn every day for 4 months because I was nervous. I'm online telling everybody, telling my coach, I eat a bag of popcorn every day until I started coming to this class in January. I took a goal setting class at 5 in the morning, and some kind of way, I don't know what that woman talking about. Some write. I write every day. I'm a writer. I'm a resume writer. I write. My business is called Let Me Write It For You. What you talking about, Michelle? What you talking about? What it? Listening to it, it got in my brain. And one day I was eating, and I didn't eat all my food, and I'm like, and I put it down. I'm like, who is doing this? I sat in front of a bowl of candy last Saturday for 2 hours and didn't touch it. Michelle, I was like, God, you got some jokes, okay? You got fun. You funny. You tripping. But in the past, I was the girl who used to walk around the office with candy right here on my, not in my bra, but on my chest while I ate it walking around the office.
Mm, mm,
It was only
mm.
because I learned that I didn't have to eat it.
Yes.
I left four desserts, four of them in the living room because I said I'm gonna eat my meal and I'm gonna be okay. And even when I ate my meal, I only eat half of it. I eat the rest later.
Yes.
Who is this girl?
Yes. 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 Yes.
I'm
Yes.
telling you. And
You know,
as I read through this book, when we go to conference, they have all that food. Whenever that one vendor comes to the chamber, I'm always there because they have great food. I'm led by the food in the meetings. I've been in resume conferences. We're eating so much. After 2 days, the people who weren't food addicts started serving us because they were like, I've eaten too much. I'm eating some more. I've been in those groups where people who were even Jewish who had food rules broke their food rules because they were addicts
mhm,
too.
mhm, mhm,
And so I didn't understand it.
mhm. Yes. 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 And that's it. You nailed it, Deborah. It gets in your brain, this brand new way of thinking, this brand new way of thinking, this brand new way of believing, this brand new way of processing information, this brand new way of living, this brand new way of showing up for yourself. It is That's why my program is called Brand New. Because what
Okay.
we do is we start pushing in all this brand new information that
Yes.
empowers you, sis. You get empowered by this brand new information that is pushed in your brain because we start pushing out all that old stuff
Yes. And tell them,
that
Michelle, about everybody always wants to get on here and beat themselves up. What do you say when we feel you yesterday you ate too much? Today you're really gonna eat too much too. What do you say, Michelle, when people say, "Oh, I didn't do good. Oh, I didn't do well. Oh, I ate too much. Oh, I want to eat right now." What do you
yes,
tell the people?
yes,
This is very
yes,
important.
Yes, yes, yes. Here's what I say is that it's understandable.
Yes.
It is understandable. Do not beat yourself up, right? Don't beat
Yes.
yourself up about that. Because this road to transformation, this road to change, there's always going to be something that is going to be challenging the fact that you want to grow and do and be different and be better. And you do it one meal at a time, one step at a time, just one, sometimes just one moment at a time. And the holidays are particularly challenging, right? But I sit here today. I told you what I had, right? I told you what I had for Thanksgiving: greens, quinoa, and some salad, right? All that other stuff. That I just didn't wake up doing that, but it came over time.
Because you
Every
gave yourself some grace.
Give some grace. Give yourself some grace. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a break to understand that it's not your fault, that you are fighting against forces that have been building up for decades and for years in your head to keep you in this place. But you can get past them. You can get past them. And I'll give you three. I can give you three things right now that will help you.
Okay.
Three, three, and these are things that I use every day myself. These are things that people in my group, in my training, use every day. Before everything you put in your mouth, everything you put in your mouth, I want you to stop and I want you to ask yourself, am I hungry or am I something else? Am I hungry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? Am I frustrated? Am I just eating because it's free? Is everybody else is free? Why am I eating? Is it really hunger or is there something else going on? Did somebody else just offer me something and I don't want to be rude? What is that? Does this food that just stop and ask yourself the question, am I really hungry or am I something else? What'll happen if I wait? Can I wait? Right? Did I just eat? Was I hungry a few minutes ago? What's going on? Why this particular food now? Why this food now? Okay. Ask that question. And then I want you to imagine. I want you to imagine how your future self and ask yourself this question. If this food is not going to give me the body I say that I want, why am I eating it? Why do I want to eat it? Why do I want to eat it? And I just want you to take the moment and focus in on your future self, what you want for yourself in the future, and then put that question on top of it. If this food will not give me that, why am I eating it? Then I want you to ask yourself this question. Is this really food?
Mm.
So, is this really, because you have to know what the definition of food is. You have to know what the purpose of food is to be able to ask that question and give yourself a credible answer. And so what those questions do, and let me tell you something. You may ask yourself those questions and still eat the thing. You
Yes.
might in the beginning. But you have to continue to ask yourself those questions and evaluate the answers and think
Exactly.
about the answers. Because when you get into the practice of asking yourself those questions are the very first step in starting to rewire your brain because those questions bring you into consciousness.
All
They
right
help you
now.
they help you start to understand. And in those questions, those questions give you power. Your power is in asking the right questions
Michelle,
because
I want to share this with Unique. Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Unique says, I just wish I would have known this years ago. I always thought there was more to this than just to say, oh, just lose weight or cut back from the table. Thank you for this meeting today. That's Unique. She is a moderator and she's a faithful follower about and supporter of our channel. So they've been here. Michelle and Unique and
so
Portly, they've been here with us.
Eunice, I'm glad you said that because that is the exact reason why I do what I do. I was 60 years old before I figured this out. I struggled with this from the time I was 20 until the time I was 60. That's 40 years. That is 4 decades. I struggled with this beast.
Yes.
And I do this now because I don't want you or anybody else to continue to have to go through with it. I do this now because I'm like you. I wish I had known. But now that I know, I have to tell.
Yes.
Now that I know, I have to share. Now
Yes.
that I know, I want everybody to know. I want every woman, every man that has ever said, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to be in the picture. I'll take the picture."
Yes.
Every
Yes.
man, every
Yes.
woman that has ever said, "Just take my picture from the just take my picture from
Yes.
the face up." Right? I
Yes.
want every
Yes.
one man, every woman that has said, let me turn to the side. I'll stand in the back."
Yes.
Every
Yes.
everybody
Yes.
that has ever hidden because they felt ashamed, because they felt some shame about how they looked, or they felt some shame about something that happened to them that they had no control over.
Yes.
I want
And oh my
you to
goodness, Michelle.
know that
Yes.
this is for you, that this is a
Yes.
that this is a place for you. That this is
Yes.
a that this is a place
Yes.
for you. I want you to know that
Yes.
you don't have to suffer, you don't have to struggle, you don't have to do that any longer. That you can have some peace. You can have some
Yes.
success. That is
Yeah.
possible. That it is for you. It is for you. It is for you.
So the first thing we want to encourage you to share with us for people like Michelle and like me, right now, today's Friday, what's the first thing I can do to begin the transformation? Should I come on Monday? Am I welcome to come on Monday? Even if I
Okay.
haven't read the book, am I
Mhm.
welcome? Even if I don't know
Okay.
anything,
Okay. Okay.
help me there.
Okay. Okay. Here's the first thing you should do. The thing that you should do right now is sign up for the Mind Over Meals retreat that is happening December 10th through the 17th. Do that now. It is free. It is an online retreat for 8 days. We're going to process the top emotions that keep people trapped in emotional eating. One day we're going to talk about stress. One day we're going to talk about fear. One day we're going to talk about lack. One day we're going to talk about acceptance. We're going Every day we're going to talk about a different emotion, and we're going to unpack it through those things that I talked about: visualization, affirmations, meditation, and writing. We're going to do that for an hour. Sign up for that today. Mind Over Meals retreat.
Excellent, excellent.
And
Okay.
I think Deborah Ann has you have the information for that,
Yeah, it's
right?
in the discussion group. Just look under the discussion. You'll see all
So,
of the contact information with all of the things that you can sign up for. And
so
I'll put it in the community page as well.
sign up, and if you don't see it in the community page, you can't find it there. You can come to my Instagram. You can come to my Facebook page. You can email me directly. You can email me at Michelle Michelle at michellepettis.com. That's Petties. Email me directly. I will send you the link to sign up for this retreat. That's the first thing that you should do. It's on all my social media. You can do that. That This retreat will change your life. It will change your life. Do that first. The second thing that Deborah Ann mentioned, yes, please, Monday, come to the group. Come to that free group on Monday. It doesn't matter if you read the book, ever never heard the book, don't plan. If you don't even have to plan on reading the book, right? It's not about that. It's not about that. It is just about you showing up. Right? That you can be on camera if you wanna be on camera. Shoot, when Deborah Ann first came on, she wasn't on camera. Now I can't get off the camera. Now I
Okay,
don't
because
wanna
I was
now
asleep. Talking about, I don't know what the lady talking about. What's she talking about? I gotta take
now
a nap.
right,
I'm
right.
like, who child?
Come on. Come on. You you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. If you wanna share, you can. Just come to that group. If check check us out. because we're real there, just like it is here on Deborah Ann's channel, right? But
Yes.
we're talking. So do that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I have a mind over meals guide. It's a
Okay.
PDF that you can download that takes you through all of the 8 principles that are the foundation of my 52-week course. That guide is free. You can take that guide and you can jump into that first step, which is believe. There are 8 steps to being brand new. You got to begin and you got to believe. That guide helps you take the first step. Because sometimes the first step is just the hardest, just getting started. Where do I start? How do I start? What am
Mm-hmm.
I starting to? I have started so many times and it is messed up. I failed so many times. Do I want to start again?
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to begin to believe that it's possible for you. So we go to that first step. That's the first step. The second step is rise up and reinvent, right? You got to figure out where is it that you really want to go? Who are you, right? Who are you and who have you been? Who do you want to be? What stories are keeping you trapped in this place and keeping you from getting to the place that you want to go? So we gotta recognize those stories, rise up above those stories, and rewrite some new ones so we can reinvent ourselves. So that you don't recognize your own self. And so when people say, you changed, and you say, you're damn Skippy, I changed,
You got
right?
that right.
Yeah. Why else would I do it if I didn't want to change? Right? Oh, you you ain't the same. You know I'm not. No, I'm not the
Yeah.
same.
You
I'm
think
not
you
the
all
same.
that. Mm-mm.
Right,
You think
right,
I'm all that. Okay.
right, yeah, yeah. I am all that. Right?
Trust. Okay.
And I have been all that. You
That's
have been
right.
all that. It's just been hidden. So that
Yeah.
rise up, that rising up and reinventing, that is a beautiful part of the journey. Then it's
Mm.
alignment and accountability, right? So this alignment and accountability is so important because for many of us, and myself included, I go to the mirror, I wouldn't recognize myself. I get on the scale and I say, "Oh my God, when did I gain 50 pounds? How did that
Exactly.
happen?" Right?
Exactly.
Hiding from the scale.
Michelle, to be able to actually go to buy your groceries and don't buy any of the food that you really don't want to eat that's not healthy for you, that's a big thing for me because I found that even when I got a little bit stressed, all I had was an apple and some celery. And I mean, I'm like, okay, this is what we get. We got some celery. And I went at it. I
Right.
ate my apple. I went at it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
I tell myself, if you eat up all your apples today, you ain't gonna have none for breakfast. So it does work. It
Hmm.
really does work. And I want to share this with you too, because I struggle so much with eating candy and I'm about that candy life that I kept on working on it, kept on working on not eating sugar. And one day I said I wasn't going to eat it. And the day I said that, they had my favorite candy at the Ajax Center. I walked in and I was doing a live video. I said, "Look here, y'all. This is my favorite candy." And the receptionist said, "Don't eat all of it. I just put it in there." I told her, I said, "I'm not going to eat none of it. I'm just letting the people know this used to be my favorite candy." Okay, so it happens with practice, and the more you can't slit your wrist. You need your wrist to wear some bracelets. You can't beat yourself up all day long. You just have to start.
Yes. You just have to
You
start
just have
and
to start.
practice. Yes. I'm glad you said that thing about practice because this is a muscle. This is a
Yes.
muscle you didn't know you had. This is a muscle you haven't used in a
Ooh,
long time, and you just have to yes, yes, yes.
I
Look at
gotta show
that.
y'all my muscle. Since we talking about muscle, look at that. Wait a minute. Let me show you. Hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta figure out. Y'all see me move? Okay, look at that. Look
Yes,
at that.
that's it.
That is a
Yes,
look. It's
yes,
down like that, and it's hard. Look
yes,
at that.
yep, that's it.
This right
That's
here is for the
strong.
children to play with. Don't worry about that.
Yep, yep,
This right here, I built that muscle.
yep,
27 months. I'm doing
yep,
this.
yep, that's right.
Bam.
Strong. Bam, bam. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That that's what I'm talking about. That's how you rise up and reinvent yourself, right? That's how you rise up and reinvent yourself. Because what happens when you start doing that, then your actions get in alignment with who you want to be, with who you are. That alignment and that accountability is so important. That's why
Mm-hmm.
in my 52-week group, you meet with your partner every day. You're
Yes.
check in on each other every day. You write every day.
Mm-hmm.
Not because a chore, because you see this as a necessary tool to get where you're excited to do it. You're
Exactly.
excited to do it because you see it as a necessary tool as you're in your transformation. That alignment and that accountability. Alignment and accountability is freedom. Alignment and accountability leads to success. So you focus on that. You focus on the joy that comes with the success. That's the shift. Because we're not focusing on the thing, we're focusing on the joy, we're focusing on the results, we're focusing on the end game that allows us to move through all the steps that are so important. That alignment accountability. Then the next letter is N, which is nutrition and nourishment. And we go deep. We go deep on explaining what food really is, of pulling back the packaging and talking about and asking the question, why would I eat something when I don't know what it is? Why would I eat something I can't pronounce? Why would I eat something
Mm-hmm.
when I don't know what it does to my body? You know, I gotta accept the fact that just because they sell it in a grocery store, just because they sell it in a restaurant, just because they sell it doesn't mean that it's okay. We have to stop being so trusting. Just
Exactly.
because it says a good source of vitamin A on the front, you got to look on the back and see what else is in
See,
there too.
exactly. Michelle, you know that I go get food boxes, and 9 times out of 10, there might be one or two things in a box that I can actually eat.
Mhm.
This I got like 4 turkeys, 5. I gave them away. I gave another one away yesterday, and the only thing that I can eat in the food box for Thanksgiving, green beans and the turkey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything else, I get on my Facebook group and say, "Hey, y'all, anybody need some groceries? I'm on the diet. I can't eat it." The last time they get squash, I got fresh squash
Mhm.
and green beans,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
raisins, the craisins, the milk, the even the nuts. Coach looked at the box. He said the only thing in this, it said omega-3 nuts. So at
Mhm.
first he said I could eat it, but when I brought it to him to look closely, he said the only thing in this group of nuts that's in here is that you can eat is the walnuts and the almonds, because every other nut in there had added sugar to the nut.
Yep. Yep.
Added
Yep.
sugar to the nut. So sometimes when you think you're eating the right thing, you gotta look deep.
You got
And
to look deep.
literally, coach said I can eat carrots now. So I had heard years ago that the little carrots really are, they do something to them little carrots. So I got the long carrots. They were 97 cents. Right now they're 210 at Publix. And I had my home coworker cut them up for me, and they tasted like carrots have always tasted.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Yep.
so,
You-
you know,
You're
it's
right.
just taking the time to do those little things, and you'll get there.
Yep.
You'll
Yep.
get there.
And the little things make a big difference in the end. It's just
Yes, you'll get there.
step by step. And I'm so glad that you had that conversation with your coach and he looked
Yes.
a little deeper.
Oh
Because
yeah.
this process means that we have to always be looking a little deeper. A
Yes.
little deeper. Go deep on it. And you can go deep when you're in community. When you can go
Yes.
deep when you're not doing it by yourself. You can go you can go you can go deep when you're not doing it by yourself. So yes, that nutrition piece,
Michelle, I know you got to get some shopping done. I know you have to work on getting my Christmas present, my
Yes,
Kwanzaa present, my
yes.
Happy New Year present. My birthday's coming up in February. I
Okay,
know you got things to do with
okay.
me
Well, okay.
in mind. I know you
Yes,
do.
I do. I got
Oh,
plenty to do,
yes.
but I want to get through. I want to get through this list. I want to
Oh,
get.
yeah.
We're
Okay,
all
okay, okay.
almost
Well, go
done.
ahead.
So,
I just
nu-
wanted to be respectful of your time. You can go
yeah.
as long as you want to. I'm here
Okay.
for it.
All right. Okay. So
Okay.
we're gonna no, once we leave nutrition and nourishment,
Nourishment,
then
yes.
we go to the D, which is DSW. I'm not
Oh,
talking
yes.
about shoes. I'm not talking about shoes, but I am talking about. But I am talking about drink, sleep, right.
All right now.
Drink, and those are three things that are so important
Yes.
in this brand new process. Is getting hydrated, because sometimes we think we're hungry when we're really thirsty.
That I was so
Mm.
much thinking that. That's exactly what it is. Most of the time we don't have, and I have a gallon of water too. Most of the time we don't even know that we're hungry, because hunger means that your hypothalamus and your pituitary gland sends a signal to your stomach, and it starts giving you gas, so you might have a stomach ache, and it goes up your esophagus, and sometimes you feel a sharp pain, and
Mhm,
sometimes your head hurts. So
mhm.
I'm pretty sure ain't nobody walking around stomach hurting, because we don't give our bodies long enough time to be empty. And
Yes,
with me being so fat, I have to do a day and a half of a little fast to reset my body. Then I eat at 12. Then I wait. I wait until my body says, okay, I'm ready to eat. And
yes,
then I'll start feeling, after about another day, I'll start feeling hunger signals. So
yes,
that's just the way the body communicates. You have a brain that literally communicates with your whole body, but you
yes,
gotta pay attention.
yep.
That's the
You gotta
key. You've got to use your ears for listening, your eyes for seeing, your nose for smelling, your mouth for tasting and talking. But you literally have to close your eyes and pay attention to yourself.
yes,
Self, what do
yes,
you want?
yes.
Yourself, like little babies, little children will say water. That's what they don't really, they might say juice if you overgive them juice. But if
Uh-huh.
you really just feed a child the way they're supposed to be fed, they'll ask for water.
Mhm,
At
mhm.
two
They
years
will.
old, they'll ask for water.
Yep, they will. They know. They know. And the and what you said, what you just said there, when the communication between our brain and our body, when when we are feeding ourselves with nutritious food, that communication is clearer. But when we're feeding
Mm-hmm.
ourselves with processed food, those lines of communication get jacked up.
Yes.
That's why it's so important to get the processed food out, as we're on this journey. So drink, sleep, and
Yes.
right. Water. Sometimes we think we're hungry when we're really
We're
thirsty.
just
We
thirsty.
gotta get
Yes.
to sleep. We gotta get to sleep, because the sleep helps with impulse control. Understand that
Yes.
food addiction and obesity, they are both diseases. And sleep is how we heal. When we get 8 hours of sleep, 9 hours of sleep, we are giving our bodies time to heal from these diseases, to process the toxins out, to help us navigate the next day, right? So the sleep is essential. It is essential. It is essential. The very things that we think aren't important are the things that are important. And the writing is key, because the writing is the way that we start to reclaim our brains. We learn through writing. Writing
That's
makes it
right.
real. Writing makes it real. So
Yes.
we are literally retraining our brains. We are unlearning all the stuff that has kept
Yes.
us trapped for so many years. So
And literally, I take notes every time we have interviews, because the more you write it, the more you say the same thing, the more realer it is. And
yes,
then sometimes I retype them on my computer. But this is the key.
yes, it is.
Remember, kids,
Yes,
they're going to draw you a picture of what they're going on. Be like the
mhm,
Bible said, unless we're like the little child, we can't enter heaven. You better get your writing on, honey. Draw you a picture.
absolutely. That's right. Get your writing on. Draw a picture. Yeah. So D is drink, sleep, and write. The
Yes.
next one, the next one is we go back to N again. And no is the new yes.
Yes.
We practice that. We practice that because you have to decide what it is that you want to say yes to so you know what to say no to. So and understand that every no to an old habit or old belief or old thought or old situation or old food that kept you trapped, some old people that want to keep you trapped. Every time you say no to them, you're saying yes to something brand new.
Oh, I want to share this with you. There's a couple, Edward and his wife, they lost weight and they had weight loss surgery. And they said this, they said, find something to do other than eat, and also recognize that your friends are going to leave because you were the fat person in the friendship and they don't
Hmm.
want to be friends with you no more.
Hmm.
And that's okay. So that's when you say no is the new yes. Every no to an old habit, old food, old people who want you to be the same, you they're not gonna want to do that.
You get to say no to some new stuff. You got you
Exactly.
got you got to say
Yes.
no to the old stuff to say yes to the new stuff. You
Yes.
got to get rid of the old stuff first to make room for the new. So
Yes.
yeah, oh yeah, you're gonna lose some people. You're gonna lose some stuff, but you're gonna pick up some stuff that is so much more valuable,
Yes.
so
I
much
started
more
going to
important.
line dance class. Now, right now, because we buried the cane, we had a memorial service, so I can stand up without the cane. So I just go and stand up. I dance a little bit while I'm standing to let my legs and my feet and my body know, girl, you could do this. So my
Mhm.
new people, and they even said, Deborah, before you never got up out of your wheelchair. Look at you standing up now, honey. We saying no to some stuff so we can
Yes,
say yes to some new stuff. Okay.
yes, yes, absolutely. Yes to some new stuff. So
Yes.
yeah, so you keep stay focused on the yes. You learn how to do that, right? Because we're
Mm-hmm.
so used to that. We're so used to believing that it's not for us. So
Yes.
all this is a process. This takes time. Then we get to E, evaluate, ask, and think. What I call eat. So we eat before we eat while we're eating, we eat after we eat.
Mm.
Evaluate, ask, and think. And I mentioned this a little earlier when we were talking about when I was going through those questions, the questions that I
Mm-hmm.
said you can take right now. That's
Yes.
eat. That's
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 it.
eat. You are evaluating, you're asking, you're thinking before everything you put in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Is this really food? Am I hungry or am I something else? If this is not going to give me the body I say I want, why am I eating it? Why this food now? You'll get to the point where you can go through all four of those questions in about a second. You make a quick assessment in your head. And and in making that assessment, you have the opportunity to make a decision about what you're going to be about what you put in your body. You make a decision that is based on nutrition and education and not addiction.
Mm.
If you make those decisions based on power, the sister was talking about earlier who felt like she didn't have any power. These questions give you the power. Eat,
Amen.
eat. And then you
Mm.
think about it after you ate. I mean, how many times do we think when after you eat something, you know what? I don't know. Did I really like that? Is this making me feel heavy? Is it making me feel sleepy? Am I feeling
Mm-hmm.
energized like I should? Am I feeling itchy? I mean, did that really agree with me? Do I want that again? We got to make that assessment after we eat. Think about
Yeah.
how does it feel? How's your body feeling after that? Do it feel heavy? Do it feel bloated?
Michelle,
Mm,
debt free
mm.
girl says, Amen. Sleep is how we heal. Audrey Cottrell says, love this information. And Unique says, I'm learning to do that, learning when I have enough.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm telling you, Unique, Audrey, Deb, is it Deb? Who was it?
Debt free girl, God girl, debt free God girl.
God, girl, y'all right now, go and register for that Mind Over Meals retreat. Debra Ann has it in the information. This is for 8 days, an hour a day, from December 10th to December 17th. We're gonna we're gonna break it down even more than this. This is good, but it gets better. This is good, but this is some surface stuff right here. This is good, but we go deep. We can go deep. We can go much, much deeper.
Yes.
And then we get to the final letter in being brand new, which is called wow. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So you go through all those 8 days, you go through 8 weeks, you go through 52 weeks, whatever length of time you go through that entire process. You do that, you have gone through some stuff. You've gone through some learning, gone through some changing, you've gone through some growing, and you take a moment and you look back and you think, look how far I have come. Look
Amen.
how I have grown. And you celebrate yourself. You celebrate your wins because we don't do enough of that.
Yes.
You acknowledge that, right? You go to the mirror and you say, "Go look at you. Look,
Hmm.
right?"
Oh, oh, I have to share. Guess what? Oh, speaking of wins, here's my dress. Barbara bought me this dress. It's a size 4X. I wore it yesterday, the other day. So I can wear a 3X jacket and a 4X dress. Yep, I
Yes,
wore it the other day.
yay, yay. That's right. That's love that. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. That's the
Yes.
wow. That's the celebration, right? And then you do that. You celebrate and we celebrate the wins, big and small.
Yes.
All of them are big. We got it.
Mm.
But yes, we stay focused on the win. That's the W. We stay focused on the win because it allows us to go right back to the beginning and start over.
Yes. I like to say, what are your dreams? Because Ella Fitzgerald says, she says, you gotta have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how you gonna have a dream come true? So what are your dreams? Why do you want to lose weight?
Yes, yes.
What do you
That
want
and
to
that.
do in that weight, smaller weight?
Yep.
Where do you
That.
want to go? What you gotta know what you want to do. And Ella Fitzgerald, she said, what do you think about your mind on everything? Ella Fitzgerald, she says, talk about the birds singing, talk about the things you like to do. You've got to do that.
Yep. You got to do it. Yep.
You've
You got to
got to
do it.
do that.
You got to do it. You got to write it. And that's what that first step is for. That's what
Yes.
begin and believe is about. That's where you map out the dreams. That's
Yes.
where you position yourself to have a dream come true in the very beginning. Why are you doing all this? Because of that
And
begin, because of that B.
I heard you say something, and I wrote this down last week. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Don't do what I do because I'm fat. I ain't got the weight off yet. But you get somebody who is a thin eater, who's not an addictive eater, and copy what they do. Michelle said she goes to a restaurant. I wrote this down. I'm gonna look for a restaurant that serves this food. She said they serve salmon with mixed greens. She paid a little bit extra for some guacamole and some type of dressing that's a natural dressing. I am looking for this type of restaurant because I want to eat at places that also serve food that's good for my body. And I want to be like people who are thin eaters.
Hmm.
And so when you listen to your people who are in the group who they do something, you don't get jealous. You go, oh, I want to do that too. So we have some new restaurants opening up here. We have some junk restaurants opening up too. But I said I'm gonna look in my city and find places that serve food that speak to my new Deborah.
Yes, yes. Speaking to the new Deborah. So here's that salad. So
Yes.
it has quinoa in it. It has
Okay.
the mixed greens. And sometimes I don't always get it with the salmon, but I get it with the salmon a lot. Either blacken or jerk, spice it up. But it has sweet potatoes in it. It has
Yes.
beets, and I have them add the avocado, and I have them add the red onion. It
Yes.
has it has walnuts
Yes.
and 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 a little bit of goat cheese.
Yes. Oh yeah, that goat cheese. I was gonna look for that when I go back to Publix. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
me some goat cheese too.
yeah, a
Okay.
little bit of goat cheese. And
Yes.
so when they serve that salad, they bring it out with a little muffin. And when I order the salad, I say, and you can keep your muffin.
That's
I don't
right.
need I don't need the muffin. You can keep that. Sometimes they forget, and then I give it back to them when the salad shows up. Right? So
Yes.
beets,
I really do. I
beets,
got it.
sweet potato, onion, avocado, salmon, mixed greens, quinoa, some walnuts,
Red
whatever,
onion, goat cheese.
whatever,
And
whatever, what.
quinoa is good for, this is the word on the spelling test. It's good for biome, gut biome. That's a new word on the spelling test.
Okay, new word. Okay, and it's high in protein. It's a whole
Yes.
grain type. It's
Yes.
whole grain high in protein. Because that's why sometimes
Exactly.
I don't get the salmon because it
Yes.
has a quinoa. It just depends on what I plan on
Hmm.
eating the rest of the day or what I've already
Okay.
had.
Audrey is asking the question, where are the links for the different groups in the retreat? Audrey, if you look in the community page and you look in the descriptions, but when we get off of this line, I will go back to the community page and I'll list all of the groups. I'll go. What I usually do is go to Michelle's site and I just copy and paste and put it in my community groups, and that way you'll have it. So don't worry. But if you really just go through the community pages, I have Michelle's information all on there. Or if you look in the description, just scroll down past send me a cash app. Keep scrolling, then you'll see her information there. It's three different sections on Michelle at Michelle Pettis, on I Am Brand New Now, and on get an upsert of her book. And also she has a TED Talk. So all of that is in the description for my chapter. So but I'll repost it when we get off of this line. So don't worry about it. You'll be able to get it. And if not,
And
just ask me. I check all of my comments. So I'll literally copy and paste the link on your comment also when I get off of this line as well.
thank you, Audrey. Looking forward to seeing you in the retreat. Looking forward to having you in the
Yeah.
retreat.
And
Um,
let me share this too. One of the
okay.
things that I think Michelle does best, she is very patient. She is not going to judge you for whatever you say. And I love that. That's because she's kind of laid back. I'm kind of high strung, but she's laid back. She's going to champion you wherever you are. And y'all know we need that. We need someone championing us because most of the time we're going to be having stumbles. And then after we stumble our way through, we're going to, it's not that we don't have successes. Sometimes it's hard for us to see the good when we are really struggling. I made a thing of cornbread, just a little thing of cornbread the other day, and I put it in four. So I was going to eat one, two today, and two tomorrow. I ate four of them before the end of the night, but that's okay. I knew that if it's in front of me, it's a little bit harder. So I gave myself grace and I made sure I wouldn't have any cornbread or anything for the next couple of days because I already had it. And I made sure I just stuck back to what I knew. But also, that's a sign that I'm a little bit stressed. So
Hmm.
whenever I start thinking about eating cornbread or some starches, then it makes me know you're a little bit stressed. We like to, Michelle calls it, let's unpack that.
Yep. Yep. And so, Deborah, you bring up a good point. And this is one reason why I don't necessarily think cravings are a bad thing.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, talk about it in a different way. But
Mhm.
this is one place where I am different. Now, our bodies can have cravings because we're lacking in certain nutrients for sure.
Yes.
I'm not,
Yes.
I'm not, I'm not, I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying, like Debra Ann just talked about the cornbread. If you are craving something, let's say it's cornbread, let's say it's a Snickers bar, it could be pizza, something you know that is not good for you, something that's filled with sugar, something that's filled with fat, something that's filled with salt, flour, all that stuff that our body sees as poison. If you are craving something like that, what I want you to do is I want you to eat something nourishing. I want you to get some broccoli, get some greens, right? Get some green beans, get a piece of fish, right? Vegetable, a vegetable, vegetable and protein, a vegetable part starch and protein. Eat and get full. Because when you're working with me, I tell anybody I'm working with, the only purpose of food is nutrition and nourishment. The only thing they can do is satisfy hunger. So if you eat something nourishing and you get full, then you will logically know that you're full, right? You'll logically, because I just ate. I just ate a piece of fish. I just had some broccoli. I just had some green beans. I am full. And if you are still craving something, what that craving tells you is that the craving represents an emotional place that needs some support, that needs some healing.
Mm. All
Because
right now.
Debra Ann just said it. She said, I was dealing with the cornbread, but I felt like I was some stress. I was dealing with some stress. That's information. That's not anything to beat yourself up about.
Mm-hmm.
So the craving becomes a good thing because it is helping you understand something that is going on with you that you haven't been able to figure out by yourself. It is your
Mm-hmm.
body saying, I'm craving this thing, whatever the food happens to be. When you sit with it, which Debra Ann likes that, when you sit with why am I craving this thing, it is because this food has an association to it
Yes.
that
It's
means
comfort.
something to you. It has some sort of comfort to it. It has some
Mm-hmm.
sort of meaning. You have attached some sort of association to it that can relieve your stress. When you unpack that, it allows you to get to the stress relief without eating the food because it
Yes.
is not the food that you want.
Mm-hmm.
You want what the food represents. And
Yes.
you logically know it because you just ate. You're not hungry.
Exactly.
And we know that food, the only problem that food can solve is hunger.
Hungry
The only problem
nutrition.
it can solve is hunger. Its only purpose is nutrition and nourishment. And if
Mm-hmm.
you are desiring to eat something when you are not hungry and something that is not nutritious or nourishing, that means something else is going on with you.
Yes.
And this is an opportunity, this craving is an opportunity to figure out what that is.
Yes.
And when you sit down with a piece of paper
That's it.
and a pen,
That's
and
it.
you, I'm, what I want to tell you is you might not get to the answer in that moment. It might come a day later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month
Yes.
later. But you have to be committed to finding the answer. And you just write down on a piece of paper, write the question. You can say, I just ate. I know I'm not hungry, but I have this desire to eat cornbread. What is going on with me and cornbread?
Okay.
Just write that. Why why do I want it now? What does this cornbread represent? And then you start thinking about when was the first time I had it? Who makes the best cornbread? What's my history with cornbread? When did we
Mm-hmm.
eat it? When you start bringing up those
Yes.
questions,
Yes.
right? Cornbread, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's so what's so fabulous about cornbread? Who do I eat it with? Who was with me when I ate it? Who gave
Mm-hmm.
it to me? You start you start letting that come to your consciousness,
Yes.
right? You start thinking about that, not about the taste, but what it means.
Yes. That's
And
exactly right.
as you start to develop that story, it starts to release its hold on you.
Exactly.
It starts to release its hold on you. And you start to
Exactly.
realize that you are not hungry, right?
Amen.
But maybe you just tired, maybe you just need a nap.
Okay. Now
Right?
I can take a nap for you now. I can
Sometimes you
take a
just need a
nap
nap.
for you.
So,
So we have
just
Sheila Thomas. She says, greetings, listening, and I'm learning.
hi,
Aqua Blue
Sheila.
says, hello.
Yes, it is so good to have you all on the line today. I'm looking forward to you all continuing the conversation with the Mind Over Meals retreat. I'm looking forward to you
Yes.
joining us on Monday night or Monday afternoon, depending Monday at 5 o'clock Eastern time, whatever your time zone is. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jump in and we continue the conversation. Download download the PDF. That I went through all the steps just now, but when you download the PDF and you can read the words for yourself, my story is in there if you want more
Yes.
about my story.
Yes.
But y'all, I'm not listen, I'm not talking to you all about something that I just made up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking to you all about something that I lived. that I lived for 40 years, that I struggled with for 40 years, that I searched for answers for 40 years, that all the conventional stuff never worked for me. I would lose the weight and gain it back and didn't understand why. It's because I did not have a fundamental understanding of the purpose of food and how it worked. I didn't understand that the term emotional eating meant this, that you have to separate the emotion from the eating and deal with the emotion. If you
Yes.
deal with the emotion, if you're an emotional eater, that means you eat because of an emotion, right? Logically. I'm an
Mm-hmm.
emotional eater, I eat because of the emotion. Okay, then deal with the emotion. Figure out what's driving the emotion, then you no longer eat for that emotion,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
And I want to share this. The first time that I woke up from the meetings and actually said to Michelle, I told her, I said, they don't care what they did to me. They don't care. And some of your emotional issues may not be able to be solved. But this is the name of my book. So do not steal my topic. I realized after working with Michelle and the group, I don't have to eat about it. You can sit in that emotional, that trauma, that situation that didn't go right, that bad relationship, them children acting up, whatever it is. And you're gonna learn that you can feel it. You are being mistreated, okay? That doesn't take away from you're valuable and worthy of not being handled incorrectly. My brother always says that somebody handled him improperly. You don't have to eat about it. You can acknowledge it, you can do what you can do. But in many instances, there is nothing we can do because you can only control yourself. And you're gonna learn that it's okay. Miss Loretta, she's down the street. She came to see me when I was sitting here in this bed for 3 months, couldn't move. And she said that her children was like, Mama, you gotta apologize to Auntie. When and she told her sister, we're 70 years old. That happened when we were 12. She used to whip her siblings because she was the mother of the how you raise your children. She had me laughing so hard. She said, "Sis, I'm not talking to you no more. This is enough of this."
that's
So
right.
sometimes you will be able to laugh at the crazy.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean
Mhm.
you're not worthwhile. This is what happened. And Michelle likes to say we feel a little bit too much. We just care a little bit too much. So sometimes you're not gonna die because you didn't get your way. I'm the middle
Yeah.
girl. My family is glad I'm on here because honey, I'll be calling them all the time and I talking. They glad I'm on YouTube. Y'all happy to hear me talk. But I am not going to die if I don't get to talk all I can talk. This isn't
Mhm.
Burger King be all I can be.
Mhm.
So don't worry about it. The Bible says that there are nothing that has happened to you that isn't common to happen in humans. Because that's
Mhm.
another thing we feel like we're the only one.
Yeah.
I want you to
Mhm.
know you can get through the emotional hurdle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. And you can get through it.
Yes. 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 And you can get through it. You can get through it day by day,
That's
right?
right.
Step by step, bite by bite, moment by moment, and you can get through it. You can learn how to get through it by coming to this retreat that's coming up on December 10th. And with that, Deborah, and I think oh my God, how long have we been on here? Oh Lord.
98 minutes and 38 seconds. I tried to win you in, but you were doing a Deborah. I let you go, honey. Run, Michelle, run. Let me tell you something
Oh my
funny.
God, I'm so
I'm
sorry.
gonna tell you something funny. I've been sitting on here readjusting my position, trying to see how cute I look in each position. So when you see me move like this, I'm trying to see,
Uh-huh.
okay, what angle is that? So this is why I know you. Nobody has low self esteem. My dad said we take care of ourselves, we watch ourselves, we think about ourselves. So we're gonna call that low self esteem that a lot of people think they have. It's not true because
Uh-huh.
you think about yourself all the time. I'm
Right.
sitting here going, I think think I'm looking thinner right here, you know.
You are,
I'm like,
you are, you're
I
all
am. I'm like,
all the
I'm
angles are
I'm
cute.
like, I'm like looking a little bit thinner up here, you know. I'm doing this right here.
But I'm glad you brought that up because I noticed it. I was like, I noticed a new hairdo, which is really cute. I like the tendrils. I
Okay, I'm
like the
getting ready
tendrils.
for my cowboy. My
Uh,
dream is to go to Oklahoma, Louisiana, or Dallas and go to the trail yard and meet my cowboy.
okay, all right, all right.
So
Cowboy's coming. Cowboy's
that's
coming.
right. That's right.
Oh,
Okay, Sheila says, thank you, ladies. I'm looking forward to hearing more. May I please get the title of the book you held up a moment ago? It's called Leaving Large. Look in the comments. You'll see it where you can even look at a free one chapter. And Michelle will sign it for you if you email her and order it with her. Everything we're talking about is in the description, and look at my community pages. I don't delete any of my community tabs because I want you to always be able to get the information. There are 50, close to 50 different posts about Michelle Pettis, the support groups, the I Am Brand New Now Facebook group, and the weekly support group class, as well as the couple of times a month Saturday prescriptive writing class. It's called Writing Your Way to Your New Weight. Is that not amazing?
yeah, right here with you right way.
Thank you so much, Michelle. We appreciate you. Be safe travels. Continue to enjoy, and we'll see you on Monday. God bless you. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank everybody for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and to hit the subscription and share button. If you have people, share it on your Facebook page, share it on your Instagram, share this message because we want to encourage everybody. You do not have to eat your way through this holiday. That's a fact. You do
Yeah,
not have to do it, okay?
you don't.
So, peace and hair grease. Bye. Thanks,
Bye, y'all.
Michelle.
Bye bye.
Bye.